Hey, what's up, Spooky fam? Today's video is another wrap-up video, another 2023 horror wrap-up video. And this one I feel may be a little controversial, but I'm just gonna put the disclaimer out there. Everybody has different tastes. Everybody likes, as the quote from Goldmember, everybody likes their own brand. I just feel like, as Dragula says, art is subjective, and I'm just trying to throw all the quotes in there to tell you that I really didn't like these films. But just because I didn't like them doesn't mean that you guys can't like them, or just because something on this list is my least favorite doesn't mean that it can't be your most favorite. And I just feel like people should just be a little easier with how, you know, whatever is your favorite, and that's fine. So if you guys enjoyed this video, please go ahead and give it a thumbs up, subscribe for more, check out all of my links down below if you'd like to see any more of me or support the channel any further. This list only has 6 films. These are on my list because these are films that genuinely let me down. Films that, the last 3 I'm gonna group together, and I have the same problem with all 3 of them. So stay tuned, let's begin. All the way at the back with number 6, and Knock at the Cabin, directed by M. Night Shyamalan. While vacationing at a remote cabin, a young girl and her parents are taken hostage by 4 armed strangers who demand the family make an unthinkable choice to avert the apocalypse. I will start off with the positive. One thing I will say is I actually think that the actors did a great job. Rupert Grint was great. I think Batista was great for what he did in this role, and one thing I really did like is the fact that they didn't say anything about his size. They let him exist as a person, and it didn't, you know, his size wasn't a character trait, you know, he was just a teacher. I really enjoyed that aspect of the film. However, I felt like it was extremely predictable. I did not like the ending. I could have done with so much more gore. I feel like that would have sold the point, drove it home a little more. I also feel like I need to read the book, Cabin at the End of the World by Paul Tremblay, which it is based on, which I haven't done, which is on my list of goals for 2024. I don't know, this one did not do it for me, and I was really let down by it. Alright, number 5 is Cobweb, directed by Samuel Bowden. 8-year-old Peter is plagued by a mysterious constant tapping from inside of his bedroom wall. One his parents insist is all in his imagination. As Peter's fear intensifies, he believes his parents could be hiding a terrible, dangerous secret and questions their trust. Honestly, it had me in the first little bit, but I did not like Lizzie Kaplan in this film. The way her acting style was in this one I felt annoyed. I didn't like the creature. I just didn't like the film. It did not sit well with me. But you know what? In hindsight, Malignant was one of my worst rated films of the year. It came out, I believe, 2020. But in hindsight, I kind of want to watch it again because I kind of think I'm gonna like it a little more. Same with The Empty Man. The Empty Man, I believe same year, was one of the worst films that I thought that I wasted my birthday watching it. But people rate it so highly, and I feel like I just missed something. So I want to go back and rewatch those ones. Maybe I'll have the same feeling with Cobweb in a few years. Who knows? Maybe in a couple of years, I'll let it pass. It'll be Halloween. I'll give it a rewatch. Maybe I'll have different thoughts. But as for right now, it is on my worst of the year. Number 4 is Pet Cemetery Bloodlines, directed by Lindsay Anderson Beer. In 1969, a young Judd Crandall has dreams of leaving his hometown of Ludlow, Maine behind, but soon discovers sinister secrets buried within and is forced to confront a dark family secret that will keep him connected to Ludlow forever. And this being a sequel to the already bad remake was terrible for me. I hated the remake of Pet Cemetery. Oh boy, did I ever. That movie still, I don't think that's one that I'll change my mind about, because I just did not like that film. And the sequel did not do a single thing for me. However, the Native American storyline, I really liked that. And I feel like if it would have leaned into more of that, less of a sequel with Judd, more of a sequel with that, like as a singular storyline, I would have enjoyed it way more. Alright, these last 3 films are the reason why I made my little disclaimer at the beginning, because if you guys liked these films, if these were ones that you thought were the best of the year, I'm glad that you got something out of them, because I did not get a single thing out of these films, and I feel like there were so many more incredible films with original ideas that were done and executed better in 2023. So let's begin with number 3, and Ennismen, directed by Mark Jenkin. A wildlife volunteer on an uninhabited island off the British coast descends into terrifying madness that challenges her grip on reality and pushes her into a living nightmare. The repetition in this film, okay, I have a singular thought about all of these films. So let's get into number 2 with The Outwaters, directed by Robbie Banfitch. 4 travelers encounter menacing phenomena while camping in a remote stretch of the Mojave Desert. And I might as well just get right into number 1 and my worst rated film of the year, Skinamarink. This one is directed by Kyle Edward Bell. 2 children wake up in the middle of the night to find their father is missing and all of the windows and doors have vanished. My problem with these 3 films is I think they are so, the idea is there. The idea is there. It's too long. These films almost run, The Outwaters is almost a 2-hour runtime, an hour and 50 minutes. We have an hour and 40 minutes with Skinamarink and an hour and a half with Ennismen. And I wholeheartedly feel that if these 3 films were under 80 minutes, they would have been bangers for me. I feel like if they would have trimmed The Outwaters, if it would have just trimmed the music video stuff, there's so much it could have come out or cut out. If Ennismen would have just cut out some of the repetition, if Skinamarink just gave us something that I could have been interested in. Like, I get it. I get what they were going for. I watched all 3 of them and I understand. If you guys enjoyed those films, good for you. I am so glad that you got something out of them. The only thing I got out of these were they were too long for the premise. They were too long for what they were trying to do. The ending scene of The Outwaters with the little tiny light camera footage that we get, I feel like if that was a tight 5-minute ending sequence, it could have been so much more scary. If it was just tightened up, if the idea was just refined in some way, those films could have been on my top list of the year, or at least my honorable mentions. But because of the runtime, I feel like they were poorly executed. And that is why those 3 make my top 3 worst films of the year. And I am so sorry. I hope that you guys stay tuned for my honorable mentions and my best films of the year. I feel like you guys are gonna be a little surprised, unless you follow me on Instagram, because I've already said it there, what my #1 film of the year is. If you watched my video from last year, I don't think you'll be surprised, but just don't be upset. On that note, let me know what your worst rated films of 2023 were. I cannot wait to see what next year has in store for us. There's still a few films that we haven't got to see that are horror from this year that you know what, maybe if I get to watch them, I will talk about them, but as for now, all of my lists are finalized. So on that note, I will see you guys in the next video for my honorable mentions. And I think it's going to be a little more than 10, because I don't think I can, there's so many movies I loved this year. So I'll see you in that video. Sayonara, Spooky fam.